So, we are going to react first to some Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first game. We're going to react to, or watch, I guess I'll react, to, I think this one, we might do 2 videos just because, like, I want to make sure I thoroughly got, like, all the major plot points I need to know. So we're going to watch probably 2 videos, just, so I, make sure everything's covered from 2 different perspectives. The game is currently like 70% downloaded, so I think by the time we finish watching, it'll be ready to play, and I'm really excited! As a little fairy princess, I'm excited to get into this medieval shit, even though we're gonna be playing as a man, but that's okay. I'm excited either way. So, first video, a little story recap. Hopefully it's good, 18 minutes, had a lot of good views. Also, I had this saved beforehand because I had a feeling, we might play this game today because I was too excited. Wait, let me read this description first. Cornbread and interesting. Cornbread and chili. That actually sounds kind of good, actually, to be honest. I love me some cornbread. And it makes you want to grab a beer. The song. Okay. It's the Deliverance. It's the Kingdom Come Deliverance soundtrack, so pretty epic soundtrack so far. Alright, so I want to read this real quick. Dive into the rich and immersive world of Kingdom Come Deliverance with this full story recap covering all 29 main story missions in detail. Whether you're new to the series or just need a refresher, this comprehensive plot summary breaks down every major event, character arc, and pivotal moment from the critically acclaimed RPG. With cinematic gameplay footage highlighting key story beats, this video provides an in-depth retelling that ensures viewers fully grasp the narrative without having to play the game themselves. Perfect for fans looking to prepare for the highly anticipated release of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Alright, perfect. Perfect for me. This is exactly what I need. I was gonna possibly play the first game, but like every video that I watched about it complained. So we're just gonna watch it and play the new one since, it's out already. Woo, woo, woo! I'm excited.
Hello and welcome back to another...
I'm gonna have to... Sorry. The video just started. I'm already pausing.
Dare to Game video. Today I decided I want to recap the story of Kingdom Come Deliverance in a way that would make it possible for anyone who has not played the game, or maybe just not for a long time, to fully understand the story and characters of this game before the release of KCD2. Now, of course, my recommendation would be to just play the first game, as it is excellent, but I also understand that time is short, so I hope this video helps. Also, and I feel...
Time is short. I could die tomorrow. And I would have started Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 instead of the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Like I shouldn't have to say this, but this video will obviously contain story spoilers for Kingdom Come Deliverance. So only watch if you want
Spoilers!
that. Chapter 1,
Spoilers!
Unexpected Visit. In the year 1403, amidst the turmoil caused by King Sigismund of Luxembourg's aggression in Bohemia, Henry, a young blacksmith's son, wakes in the silver mining town of Skalitz. His father, a skilled smith named Martin, has been tasked with forging a splendid longsword for Sir Radzig Kobyla, the local lord. Henry spends the morning running errands for his father and playfully bantering with his sweetheart, Bianca. But the peaceful day is overshadowed by talk of political unrest in Prague and rumors of Sigismund's mercenary forces ravaging the countryside. Henry's parents encourage him to focus on learning the trade, but he chafes at the idea, dreaming of life beyond the forge. By day's end, he helps Martin complete the sword, unaware that these ordinary tasks will soon be eclipsed by unimaginable violence. Chapter 2, Run. No sooner does Henry's family finish the sword than Skalitz is attacked by Sigismund's forces, which include heavily armed humans and knights.
That is a big ass army. That's a big... Ooh! Have you guys watched, it's with Timothy Chalamet in it? Oh my god, I can't think of what it's called right now. But he plays... Okay, let me just look it up. Because it's actually really good. Like, I really like that movie. I've watched it, like, probably 2 or 3 times. It's called The King. That's what it's called. It's called The King. It's on Netflix. And he plays as young Henry. What the fuck? I don't know what that. The fifth, the four. I don't fucking know. Anyways, and it's so good. I love movies like that because like really gaining a perspective of how they used to fight wars is insane to me. Like they wore that heavy ass clinky ass armor and you were like cutting people up and they were bleeding in their armor and it's so cool. Anyways.
Knights under the command of the ruthless Markvart von Aulitz. Buildings burn and townsfolk are cut down where they stand. Henry rushes to find his parents, but the castle gates slam shut before he can reach the safety of the walls.
No eyebrows.
He is forced to watch powerless as von Aulitz's men kill Henry's mother and von Aulitz himself kills Martin. Wounded and driven by his father's final plea to warn others, Henry flees on horseback to Talmberg.
Oh my God.
Barely alive,
his mother and his father right in chapter 2
arrives to beg Sir Divish, the Lord of Talmberg, to prepare for war. Sir Radzig, who escaped Skalitz in the night, passes Talmberg on his way to Rattay with the survivors from Skalitz. He commands Henry to stay there. Chapter 3, Homecoming. Though Sir Divish and Sir Radzig both forbid Henry from returning to Skalitz, his grief over leaving his parents' bodies unburied grows unbearable. Slipping away from the guards, in Talmberg, Henry treks back to his ruined hometown. Skalitz is now a smoldering husk full of looters and wild animals. With solemn determination, Henry fends off scavengers to reach the corpses of Martin and his mother. In a final act of filial duty, he digs the graves under the linden tree by the forge and tries to lay them to rest. Exhausted, Henry is then ambushed by bandits led by a hulking figure known as Runt, who strikes Henry down. At the last moment, soldiers from Talmberg, alerted by Teresa, the local miller's daughter, arrive, driving the bandits away and saving Henry's life. Chapter 4, Awakening. Henry drifts in and out of feverish dreams for days.
Did you see her stance? That's the stance of a bad bitch. Wait a minute. What's her name? I feel like she's gonna be important.
Exhausted, Henry is then ambushed by bandits led by a hulking figure known as Runt, who strikes Henry down. At the last moment, soldiers from Talmberg, alerted by Teresa, the local miller's daughter, arrive, driving the bandits away and saving Henry's life. Chapter 4, Awakening. Henry drifts in and out of feverish dreams for days at the mill in Rattay, owned by Teresa's uncle Peshek. Teresa herself, who barely escaped the massacre in Skalitz, has tended his wounds alongside Peshek. When Henry finally awakens, he learns that his rescuers have racked up substantial costs caring for him. Shaken by nightmares of slaughter, he clings to the memory of his parents and the knowledge that he owes a debt of gratitude and coin to Teresa and her uncle Peshek. Despite having lost her home, Teresa remains a source of comfort. Henry begins helping around the mill, determined to regain his strength and to do right by those who saved him. Chapter 5, Train Hard, Fight Easy. Word of Henry's survival reaches Sir Radzig, who summons him to Rattay's lower castle. Impressed by Henry's spirit and aware that the young man has nowhere else to go, Sir Radzig takes him into his service. However, Henry's first real test is training under Captain Bernard, an uncompromising veteran soldier tasked with whipping new recruits into shape in Rattay. In the practice yard, Henry struggles to wield a sword as skillfully as he once forged one.
I can already see how much better the graphics got, by the way.
But Bernard's relentless drilling pushes him towards competency. During these sessions, Henry has another interaction with a nobleman, Sir Hans Capon, who taunts him and starts their relationship in an inauspicious manner. Chapter 6, Keeping the Peace. To further prove himself, Henry is assigned to assist the Bailiff of Rattay in maintaining order. He joins Nightingale.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. There's so many names, and there's such, like, old names, like, complicated ass names. Oh my god, I'm gonna like need a notepad.
An experienced watchman patrolling the winding streets and settling minor quarrels. While the day-to-day tasks of enforcing the law can feel mundane, Henry learns that real combat is not the only challenge facing a soldier. Rattay seethes with tensions between refugees from Skalitz and long-term residents, and Henry's empathy for those displaced people sharpens his resolve to protect the weak. Gradually, his sense of duty expands beyond more personal revenge, and he begins to appreciate the broader responsibilities that come with serving a lord. His last task for the day is shutting the town down. He attempts to shut down a tavern where the young Sir Hans Capon is partying, and a fight ensues between the two. Hanish breaks up the fight, and as punishment, Henry must accompany Hans on his hunting trip the following day. Chapter 7, The Prey. The next morning, Henry has to go hunting with Sir Hans Capon, and although Sir Hans seems to be an arrogant dandy, Henry soon realizes there's more to the young noble. When humans ambush them during a failed boar hunt, Henry bravely fights fights them off and saves Sir Hans's life, forging a reluctant respect between them. Hans, recognizing Henry's courage, begins treating him less like a servant and more like a companion, a shift that proves significant in their trials ahead. Chapter 8, The Hunt begins. After saving Hans's life, Henry is rewarded with his first horse, Pebbles, by Sir Hanish of Lyca.
Pebbles! Oh my god! That is a cute ass name. Sorry.
And word arrives that the Neuhoff stud farm has been brutally raided, leaving horses slaughtered and innocent people dead. Sir Radzig dispatches Henry along with Captain Bernard and a few men-at-arms to investigate. Henry scours the grisly scene, speaking to traumatized survivors and searching for any clue that might identify the attacker. The evidence suggests that this is not a simple act of banditry, but part of a larger, more coordinated effort. Among the carnage, Henry finds tracks leading away from Neuhoff and discovers that at least one stable hand may have fled in a hurry. Chapter 9, Ginger in a Pickle. Suspicion quickly falls on Ginger, a timid stable boy who disappeared following the raid.
Also, I can't, like, I've been having this thought this whole time that this guy looks so much like, what's his name?
Some of Neuhoff believe he might have led the bandits to the farm. Henry traces Ginger into the deep woods, where the frightened boy reluctantly admits he recognized one of the attackers, an individual with a pronounced limp. Ginger insists he had no role in the massacre and fled only out of fear that the bandits would silence him if they learned he could identify them. Henry, seeing Ginger's terror, believes him and promises to find the limping bandit in the settlement of Ujits.
I've watched it, read it. Okay, do you know who I'm talking about? Fuck, I can't remember.
Mysterious Ways. Guided by Ginger's clue, Henry travels to Ujits, searching for anyone matching the description of a limping raider. Ujits is a small and insular town, and Henry must carefully interview villagers, innkeepers, and the priest to tease out gossip about strangers. Each conversation reveals more of Bohemia's precarious state, local folk worrying about roving mercenaries, while feuds fester between the impoverished peasants and the wealthier townspeople. Eventually, Henry discovers that the limping man is indeed involved in a broader gang operating in the region. Though the details remain fuzzy, the trail begins to illuminate a network of criminals tied to the Littlefinger. Yes. Him. Go back. The attack in the Eventually, Henry discovers that the limping man is indeed involved in a broader gang operating in the region. Though the details remain fuzzy, the trail begins to illuminate a network of criminals tied to the attack on Neuhoff. Chapter 11, On the Scent. Information from Ujits, obtained from Father Godwin, the local priest, leads Henry to a man known as Riki, rumored to be part of the Neuhoff raiding party. Riki's name alone conjures the image of a reclusive, dubious character, and indeed Henry finds him hiding in a damp cave near Ledechko, fearful for his life. Riki confesses that multiple bandit groups are mobilizing under the command of a more dangerous leader, an individual with resources and influence far beyond that of petty thieves. Terrified of being hunted down, Riki yields only what he must to Henry, praying for mercy. Though the details remain murky, Henry senses that something larger is taking shape, with implications that stretch far beyond a single raid. Chapter 12, My Friend Timmy. Riki directs Henry to a simple-minded fellow named Timmy, holed up in a windmill south of Merhoyed. Timmy is petrified of both the law and the bandits, for he unwittingly became entangled in their plot. Persuading Timmy to speak requires Henry to balance compassion and determination, reassuring him that he won't be executed for accidentally aiding the criminals. Finally, Timmy divulges that the main bandit camp responsible for the Neuhoff attack lies in the heavily forested area near an abandoned village called Pribyslavitz. This location is said to be
These names.
Teaming with cutthroats under the command of a vicious bandit leader known only by his nickname, Runt. Chapter 13 near an abandoned village called Pribyslavitz. This location is said to be teeming with cutthroats under the command of a vicious bandit leader known only by his nickname, Runt. Chapter
Is that not who we earlier Runt? Runt is who striked him down? Is that not, am I missing that?
Wild animals. With solemn determination, Henry fends off the grave, ambushed by bandits led by a hulking figure known as Runt, who was before fleeing under this news responsible for the Neuhoff attack. This location leader known only by his nickname, Runt. Chapter 13, Nest of Vipers. Upon receiving this news, Sir Radzig orders Henry to infiltrate the camp at Pribyslavitz to confirm Timmy's story and assess the bandits' strength. Henry sneaks through the overgrown ruins, counting archers, noting where supplies are stored, and identifying the best spots for sabotage. The camp is vast, bristling with mercenaries, both Bohemian brigands and Hungarian cumans, who answer to Runt. Henry narrowly avoids capture, managing to poison the bandits' food and set fire to their arrows before fleeing under the cover cover of darkness. Armed with new intelligence, he hurries back to Rete to prepare the lords for a decisive strike. Chapter 14, Baptism of Fire. With Captain Robard leading a raiding party from Talmberg and Sir Divish marching forth with Henry and his men, the attack is ferocious. Henry, in the first true battle for him, fights alongside seasoned soldiers as arrows rain down and the clash of steel echoes through the trees. Amid the chaos, Henry comes face to face with Runt, the very man who led the ambush that nearly killed him in Skalitz. They battle in the half-ruined church, locked in a personal duel fueled by hatred and vengeance. Henry prevails, striking Runt down in a brutal sword fight. Though the bandits are routed and Pribyslavitz reclaimed, the victory is bittersweet. Many brave men have fallen, and Henry learns that this is but one arm of a far-reaching conspiracy. Chapter 15, Questions and Answers.
Shit.
While Henry and his allies fought in Pribyslavitz, another gang of marauders attacked the village of Merhoyed, only to be repelled by its determined inhabitants. Remarkably, the villagers managed to capture a wounded bandit. Sir Radzig tasks Henry with interrogating the prisoner, believing he might lead them higher up the chain of command.
Look at that armor, oh my god.
On arriving in Merhoyed, Henry discovers an outbreak of a mysterious illness ravaging the people. Desperate to keep the prisoner alive long enough to talk, Henry scours the region for herbs and consults a local healer, Johanka, and brother Nicodemus from the monastery in Sasau, ultimately brewing an antidote to save as many as possible. The bandit eventually reveals that they are all working under the auspices of a man named István Toth, though the details remain vague. After learning this, Henry arrests the prisoner, transports him to Rete, and moves on with his investigation. Chapter 16, All That Glisters. Amid the loot recovered from Pribyslavitz, Sir Radzig and Master Fafar examine a large trove of groschen that appear legitimate, but are in fact counterfeit. This discovery is alarming, as forging currency is high treason against King Wenceslaus IV. Henry is sent to Sasau to investigate suspicious goings-ons in the mines of Skalitz and the monastery's foundry in Sasau, where the silver is being processed. He uncovers evidence of organized counterfeit production, orchestrated by well-placed individuals who leverage Sasau's industry. Each conversation and clue further points to István Toth's involvement, suggesting he's financing mercenaries and forging coins in a bid to undermine the royal economy. Chapter 17, If You Can't Beat 'Em. In Sasau, rumors abound of criminals.
So it's so crazy how this started. It's just really, it's like snowballing into this big conspiracy.
Who recruit men for a new bandit army. Henry, instructed by Sir Radzig, attempts to go undercover to learn more about the recruiters and where they send their recruits. Feigning interest in joining, he weaves through taverns, back alleys, and clandestine meetings. It becomes a dangerous game of bluffing hardened criminals, as any slip-up could mean a swift death. Yet Henry manages to learn that the bandit network extends well beyond Pribyslavitz, with entire bands funneling fresh blood into hidden training camps. The deeper Henry digs, the clearer it becomes that István Toth is orchestrating a coup of sorts within this region of Bohemia. Chapter 18, Poverty, Chastity, and Obedience. A crucial lead takes Henry to the Sasau monastery. One of the novices there—
Oh my god, what if it's him?
Obedience. A crucial lead takes Henry—
What if it's him? And I only say that because he looks like Sticky— what's his— Littlefinger. He looks like Littlefinger, and Littlefinger was a sneaky ass bitch who was power hungry, you know? It's like asking for a TLDR of Cyberpunk. Yeah, like it goes, I literally, I don't even think I could, and I played that game for its entirety, and I don't even think I could give someone a TLDR of Cyberpunk.
To the Sasau monastery. One of the novices there, an undercover bandit or conspirator—
Why are you dotting, Draken?
Must be tracked down and— 18, Poverty, Chastity, and Obedience. A crucial lead takes Henry to the Sasau monastery. One of the novices there, an undercover bandit or conspirator, must be tracked down and dealt with so Henry can join the Crimps. Realizing he cannot simply barge in wearing armor, Henry arranges to switch places with a young noble, Sir Carl, who is set to enter the monastery to fulfill a vow. By taking Sir Carl's place, Henry gains legitimate entry to the tightly controlled monastic life. He surrenders his weapons, dons the monk's robes, and prepares to ferret out the conspirator who has sought refuge behind holy walls to prove his—
He was probably the first special agent of the times. Like, he is really going undercover for
loyalty to the Crimps.
In every
Chapter
single
19,
way
A Needle in a
to get
Haystack.
this guy.
Within the monastery, Henry becomes Brother Gregor. Days blur into prayer, work in the scriptorium, strict silence, and devout ceremonies. All the while, he keeps a watchful eye on the other novices, listening for inconsistencies in their stories. Cloistered away from the world outside, Henry must carefully gather clues to identify the hidden bandit. One mistake could blow his cover and ruin his entire plan. With patience, he zeroes in on the hidden bandit, identifies him through one of various ways and either kills him or helps him fake his death. Chapter 20, the die is cast. Having eliminated the bandit hiding as a monk,
We can't find out who it was?
Henry leaves the monastery and heads to a swamp nearby to wait for the Crimps, who, impressed with his successful mission in the monastery, invite him to join them. From the Crimps, Henry gains a final decisive piece of evidence. Istvan Toth is gathering his forces at a fortification called Vranik. Sir Radzig sends Henry to scout Vranik to determine the forces, fortification's numbers, and if possible their plan. Henry is captured and tortured by Istvan Toth and his lieutenant Eric. Henry escapes with the help of Zabishek, another survivor from Skalitz, who had joined up with the bandits and had since come to regret that decision. The two make their way to Rete, where Henry informs Radzig of the entire situation. Chapter 21, Payback. Bolstered by Sir Hanush, Sir Divish, and some other nobles like Captain Bernard and Sir Robard, who heeded Sir Radzig's call, Henry marches on Vranik. The fortress is formidable, guarded by hardened mercenaries. A pitched battle ensues, and after fierce fighting, the allied knights and men-at-arms manage to break through the gates. Inside, Henry confronts the reality that Istvan Toth is no mere bandit leader. He is well-connected, cunning, and aligned with powerful allies who seek to destabilize the region. Though Vranik falls, Henry learns that Istvan himself slipped away before the battle. Bound for Talmberg, the news is dire. Talmberg has been left woefully underdefended in the rush to take Vranik. Chapter 22, Out of the Frying Pan. Istvan Toth seizes Talmberg Castle through a ruse pretending to be injured men, and being let inside where they capture Lady Stephanie, Sir Divish's wife, and take the castle hostage, getting the remainder of Istvan Toth's men inside. In the mad rush back to Talmberg, Sir Radzig manages to cross the drawbridge before it is closed in an attempt to stop Istvan and save Lady Stephanie, but Sir Radzig is overwhelmed and taken hostage. Now Istvan holds 2 noble captives, several castle staff, and has secured the castle for himself. Chapter 23, Night Raid. Knowing that a direct assault on the castle's walls will be costly and will likely fail, the nobles hatch a plan for a stealth mission. A small group, including Henry and Sir Hans, will scale the castle walls under the cover of darkness to rescue Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig. Slipping past guards and creeping through torchlit corridors, Henry's party locates some hostages but cannot locate Sir Radzig or Lady Stephanie, who are being held deeper within the castle. However, the alarm is somehow sounded, and in the rush to escape
for this situation,
his party locates some hostages but cannot locate Sir Radzig or Lady Stephanie, who are being held deeper within the castle. However, the alarm is somehow sounded, and in the rush to escape, Sir Hans is shot in the ass with an arrow, but Henry manages to help him escape the walls back to the relative safety of the siege camp. Chapter 24, Siege. Realizing a swift victory is now impossible, the Allied forces establish a siege camp around Talmberg. Setting up palisades, tents, and workshops, Henry coordinates with Sir Robard and Sir Hanush to gather supplies, recruit more soldiers, and commission a trebuchet to breach the walls. This grueling period tests Henry's leadership, as he must convince the engineer to join them, and he must negotiate the delivery of the supplies they need. As the weeks drag on,
Henry is like really the go. He's really the main character because he's doing so much. Like, so much, and he's leading more than the actual leaders.
And the thunder of carpenters building the trebuchet underscores the inevitability of a bloody confrontation if Istvan will not negotiate. Chapter 25, Cold Steel, Hot Blood. An urgent message arrives. Istvan has called in reinforcements of his own from a nearby lord, Sir Havelmedic of Valdek, and they are mere hours away. Henry leaves the camp with
look at the combat! Look how silly.
Lord Sir Havelmedic of Valdek, and they are mere
he fell down.
hours
Wait,
away.
now he's
Henry
coming up.
leaves the
He's
camp
coming up.
with a detachment of men under the command of
so
Sir
funny.
Robard. They ambush the reinforcements on the road and defeat them before hearing that the siege camp was also being assaulted. Chapter 26, Family Values. Henry and his allies race back to the siege camp to find it under attack by Toth's allies.
They're like literally, okay, am I getting it wrong? It's like Istvan Toth or whatever the fuck, he keeps duping them. Like, he'll like do some, like have some sort of decoy distraction and then go attack like the most important base or like castle, you know, like he'll go, you know, like and they keep falling for it because they just went to go kill these reinforcements, this ambush or whatever, and then and then their fucking main camp or whatever is getting attacked.
attempting to destroy the trebuchet. Leading the defense, Henry fights tooth and nail to protect the trebuchet. Sir Hans, still recovering from his injury, fights alongside Henry and the other men-at-arms to defend the trebuchet and successfully defeat and capture Eric, Istvan Toth's lieutenant who had led the attack on the trebuchet. With the attack defeated, Henry interrogates Eric, learning more about Istvan Toth and realizing that they could use Eric as a bargaining chip. Chapter 27, An Oath is an Oath. With the trebuchet finally ready, the allied nobles send Toth an ultimatum: release the hostages and surrender Talmberg, or face bombardment. Istvan refuses. They also offer Eric in exchange for Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, but Istvan refuses, knowing that the hostages were all that stood between him and death. At dawn, the Great War Machine lobs massive stones at the castle walls, shaking Talmberg to its foundations. When a breach opens, Henry and the nobles lead the final assault. Swords clash in the smoky ruins of the courtyard as Toth's men mount a desperate defense. During the chaos, Henry fights his way to the highest tower, hoping to find Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig alive. Istvan, however, has one last bargaining chip. He threatens to kill both Lady Stephanie and Radzig unless he's allowed to walk free. Chapter 28, Vengeance. In a tense standoff, Istvan Toth holds a blade to Lady Stephanie's throat and warns Henry that Sir Radzig is also in mortal danger. The besiegers have little choice but to negotiate. Henry, Sir Divish, and Sir Hanush reluctantly allow Istvan to depart in exchange for Lady Stephanie's freedom and the eventual safe return of Sir Radzig Kobyla. Although Talmberg is liberated, Henry's triumph is marred by fury at seeing the culprit behind so many atrocities walk away. In the aftermath, Sir Divish and Lady
This little fucking motherfucker with this goddamn this is the motherfucker that's causing chaos in the kingdom.
Stephanie share an emotional reunion, and Sir Radzig, wounded but alive, quietly acknowledges Henry as more than just a faithful retainer. He is in truth his son. Istvan Toth escapes with Henry's more than just a faithful retainer, and Sir Radzig, wounded but alive, quietly acknowledges Henry as more than just a faithful retainer. He is in truth his son. Istvan Toth escapes with Henry.
What? What? Excuse me. What? How? Okay. This is what bothers me. He's saying some of these important ass shit so casually.
Henry's sword, as Sir Radzig and Henry ride back to Rattay. Chapter 29, Epilogue. With Istvan Toth gone and his mercenary army scattered, Henry and the nobles are visited by Jobst of Moravia, a very important noble and cousin to King Wenceslaus IV, who is attempting to secure an alliance of nobles to resist Sigismund. Henry and Hans are tasked with delivering a letter to a nearby important noble named Otto von Burgau at Trotsky Castle. The game ends with Sir Hans Kapan, Henry, and a small retinue riding off toward Trotsky Castle. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content...
Alright, that's a good background. Wait.
In Bohemia,
let me just
Henry,
clarify.
a young blacksmith's son, wakes in the silver mining town of Skalitz. His father, a skilled smith named Martin, has been tasked with forging a splendid longsword for Sir Radzig Kobyla, the local lord. Henry spends...
Okay, wait. Okay. Okay. This is why we have to watch a second video. So, okay. Henry, he's a blacksmith's son. This was his father, Martin, who was making a sword, or was the blacksmith for Sir Radzig. At the end, Sir Radzig says, or he said that, like, that he was his son. So, like, did he mean that, like, metaphorically, like, oh, you've become a son to me, or like, nah, like, you're my seed. I'm actually your daddy, like, some Darth Vader shit. You know what I mean? Like, is that, so, because then that makes sense. Like, Sir Radzig probably gave his son to Martin, and, like, you know, what's her
son wakes in the silver mining town of Skalitz. His father, a skilled smith named Martin, has been tasked with
gave Martin and his wife baby, hey, watch him, keep an eye on him, and, like, that makes sense. Like, oh, that's his blacksmith, like, he's keeping close ties with them because they have his son.
Have little
I think I got that right.
But to negotiate. Henry, Sir
Let's
Divish,
watch the second video just to make sure. Also, I will be watching this 3-hour overview, or I might watch all the cutscenes, which will probably also add up to a few hours. I will be watching that on my own and posting that on YouTube. So like, if you really want me to like experience the game through all the cutscenes and whatever, you can see me do that on YouTube.
Peggy 18.
Just not here, because that is too long. The early 15th century was a time of turmoil in the Holy Roman Empire, which had flourished under the late Emperor Charles. What the fuck? I don't know. IV. What would that be? I don't fucking know. What the fuck is... I don't know Roman numerals. Okay, so it's the 4th. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. You took forever, Draken and Chopster. The 4th. But now with his... Okay, first of all, that should be required in curriculum for you to learn Roman numerals. But now with his son, Wenceslas, the idol, on the Bohemian throne was falling into disarray. Okay. Last story recap, and then we're good. Because I think... Yes, the game has been downloaded. The king's inactivity angered many of the nobility, as well as his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary, who decided to take drastic steps to restore order to the empire. Okay. So Wenceslas and Sigismund. This is much easier to follow along with. Okay. They didn't use warmer numerals to display the quadrants on the graph. Girl. Yeah, but like 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all I got. That's as far as I got. That's as far as I got.
Well,
it's hot in
husband,
here.
how goes it?
Good. I
That's
should get it
Martin.
finished today.
It's magnificent.
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia.
Oh, okay. See, this is why we needed to watch the second one, because the other one, like, I got some points, but it was a little bit hard to follow along with. Okay. Sigismund, he's staging an attack on his own brother because he wants to take the throne because he doesn't like how he's controlling the kingdom. Got it.
Give the sword to Sir Radzig. If anything happens, he'll take care of you. He owes me.
He owes me. And why would anyone want this man to be on the throne? Why would anyone want this man to be on the throne?
Why did you do it to me, Father? Why?
Run to us! Hurry, Henry! Come on, Hal! You can still make it! Run! Help! Skeleton's been attacked!
Who was yelling that?
Hal! You can still make it! Run! Help! Skeleton's been attacked!
Oh, so this is like a cutscene movie almost.
They could be those cumans of Sigismund's. Must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
What in hell's name happened?
I don't know what army it was, but it was huge.
We have to prepare for the worst.
Next time I won't run. I'll find the one who did this to you.
Aww.
I remember his face. I'll find him. I'll never run away again.
I like this. I like this video.
Sigismund ran out of coin for knights, so he recruited those whoresands that settled in Hungary.
That's why he attacked us. He was after our silver.
You've no business here. Clear off.
Wait, it's Henry. Why have you come here?
I must get your sword back. One of those thieves stole it from me. This is nice work.
I've lost a castle,
right.
a village, silver mines, and a good half of my subjects. Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The gall of him. Fled from the enemy, disobeyed your orders, duped Sir Divish, lost your sword, put Sir Obard in danger with his actions, now he wants a promotion.
How do you punish someone who's already lost everything, Courage and blind obedience are good qualities for a soldier. You'd like to enter my service?
And blind obedience.
You won't regret it.
Oh, I probably will. You showed not only courage, but loyalty to your liege. Tribulations spawn in life over and over again, and we must stand our ground and face them. Good luck, son.
The bailiff instructed me to close the tavern at the proper hour.
You can't talk to me like that. I'm a nobleman.
What a... Yeah, he really is a douche.
It's time you learned how to lead people. You can take Henry.
Look at him! He
here.
was like pouting and stomping around like a little kid.
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The gall of him.
The goal!
Fled from the enemy, disobeyed your orders, duped Sir Divish, lost your sword, put Sir Obod in danger with his actions. Now he wants a promotion.
How do you punish quality?
You're such a baby.
Like that, I'm a nobleman.
Crucifix! It's time you learned how to lead people. You can take Henry here as your page.
Absolutely not.
Look at what a loser. Loser,
Bastards
boo.
make so bold no more than a mile from the castle. If it wasn't for you, Hans would be dead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. My
Useless
stable boy
little
came
shit.
from Neuhoff. He says brigands raided the stud farm this morning.
Who did this? Who are they?
We don't know, sir. The stable boy just kept babbling about some huge fellow in black armor who led the attack.
Sir, let me ride with them. Their leader, he must be the one who attacked me at Scarlet's. There can't be two men in the whole kingdom who look like that.
What kind of beast could do this? I'm looking for those bastards who attacked Neuhoff. Where can I find them?
They've been hired through some crony of theirs. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko.
The only thing I know is they called that huge chief of theirs Runt. He was at their camp with Pius. I reckon that's where they've gone now.
I remember this. I got this part. Punchable wait. Silver Spoon slipped up the arse, I think. Oh my god, I might have to say arse when I play the game. Yeah, probably though. Probably. It would make a lot of sense. Only someone with the fucking silver spoon up their asshole would be that fucking uptight and annoying. He does have a punchable face.
Where's my fucking sword?
Where's my fucking sword? What are these accents?
It's not over yet, you scum. Now where's my sword? What have you done with it?
I'll see you in hell.
He's not going to hell.
We found a trunk full of coin down below. Someone was paying this gang very well. Whoever engineered it was highly placed.
Yes.
They won't give up after one defeat.
He was just a weasel. He was a little...
the next part of our plan.
what was it? Lapdog.
Yes, sir.
I like this video a
brigands are
little bit more because I feel like we get to experience the game for real. You know, the talking just made it a little bit more confusing.
How many there are and what they're
Bouncy,
planning.
bouncy.
Sir.
He's surprised
W
to see
reference.
me here. And I expect he's looking for this?
You bastard.
I'm sure your father will pay a nice fat ransom for you.
My father's dead.
Your real father is alive. You even know him. It's your liege lord, Radzik Kobela. The only force in this country capable of defeating me is Sigismund's. And he pays me. When he wins, I win. Everything I take now will be mine.
A man like you will never rule.
I can't believe Sigismund would have hired such filth and like expected. I mean, he had a good chance at taking the throne, but like at the same time, he's hurting the people he's gonna rule. Like, am I wrong or?
Everything
or he wants
I take
to rule.
now will be mine.
A man like you will never rule here.
Come on, Eric, let's go. We've got work to do.
A light ass punch. Rah!
Henry, maybe we started off on the wrong foot. But I'm your only chance to get out of here alive. So do you want my help or not?
Girl, I got beat up. Don't rush me.
I'm sorry, sir. This fellow... Henry.
Father?
He did not come out with it like that. He was straight to it.
I plan to tell you. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
People beat me to it. I plan to tell you. I'm sorry Istvan, of all people, beat me to it. But now we have more urgent matters to deal with.
Oh my God,
We
that's
have to take them
Daddy!
by surprise. It would be best to attack tomorrow night.
Wait a minute, this is important.
Come out, you rat! Hide behind my wife like some mangy whelp! I could just as easily cut her throat!
I have hostages enough. Radzik,
What do you want, you viper?
to see you all die.
Fire!
Are these their actual voices? And their actual lines? They just sound so out of place a little bit, you know? My taste palette is more advanced than hers.
But how do we get that rat out of
You
there?
guys
I'd
are
say
so-
we have no choice
What? You guys are so funny.
but to attack.
So, I might have a solution. What about exchanging hostages? Seems to be on very, intimate terms with Toth.
You're your father's son, by God.
Wait, intimate?
Intimate terms with Toth. What about
Intimate?
exchanging hostages? Seems to be on very, intimate terms.
Wait a minute. Is Istvan, you know? Is Istvan, you know?
With Toth.
You're your father's son, by God.
Or is he just saying, like, they're close?
Loose!
Bam! Oh my God, I wish they still use that in battles. Now we got a lame ass, what the fuck is it called? Tank. Boo! Like, let's throw a big ass boulder at them. That's fire. Ugh. It was so cool. Things used to be so cool.
Istvan, it's over. I give you my word as a knight and lord. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
I'll give you her ladyship. But Radzik comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz. I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Oh,
If
his
anyone tries to
wife.
follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over.
Aw.
Find you.
I love that he still cares about the family that he grew up with, you know? Alright, I think I got the story plot. I think I got this. Maybe one day we'll play the game. But not
Glad to see
today.
Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Yay!
Looks like it's all over.
Hans.
Not by a long shot.
This kingdom needs a king. My cousin, Wenceslas IV.
Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility against Sigismund. Every
Fuck
day
Sigismund.
he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn. We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
Finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that whoreson who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry.
That's a good plan,
I'm feeling
too.
you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Woo! Now that was a recap. Now that was a recap. Oh man, I'm excited to play this now.
Come to me afterwards.
We're at 3 hours in the stream, but we're finally gonna play the new game. Yay, I'm so excited. Let's open it. Oh my god, guys, we're gonna play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.